We're now joined by the head women's lacrosse coach at Army West Point, Kristen Skiera. Coach, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes today.
Hey, Zach, this is awesome. Nice little change up. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. You guys had, unfortunately, a really good start to your season, cut short. How tough was that to hear, and how did the team take it when you told them that the season was coming to an abrupt end?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the end of the season, everything changed so quickly, and it was all happening so fast. So it was really tough, especially for the senior class. You know, we were preparing to go to Holy Cross on Friday morning, and Thursday we had just wrapped our practice Thursday afternoon, and wholeheartedly were preparing for Holy Cross, thinking that, hey, Holy Cross may be our last competition of the season. And so everybody departed campus for dinner on Thursday evening, and that's kind of where we got the call that said, you know, NCAA, all competitions are stopped. And so we were actually all apart when we heard the news, which I think was one of the most unfortunate parts of it. So from there, you know, everyone just kind of went on their way, trying to grab a few days of away time at home to kind of digest everything. And we didn't really know it would turn into this, where we really haven't seen each other in over a month now. So it happened so quickly. I think devastated for our seniors. I think there was a glimpse of hope, that we would be able to continue on. And obviously, as the state of the virus unfolded, it just wasn't feasible or possible or safe. So I think we're just trying to remain positive and find the silver linings in the situation. And I think the team is doing a great job of that right now.
Well, you started off 7-0, and you're about to go into league play. And you had such a successful season last year in the non-league as well, only losing once. 2 back-to-back very successful non-conference slates. How is the team coming back next year, the freshmen, the sophomores, and the juniors? How do you think they're going to be able to use last year's 7-0 as motivation going forward to try and build off that to push themselves even further and grow this program?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this year's team just really set the bar high in terms of how hard they compete. And I think that 7-0 results of our short season is honestly just a testament to what they do day in and day out at practice. I mean, this year's team, more than any other year's team, just like went at each other in practice and battled so hard. And I think, I always tell the girls at the end of preseason when we're heading into our first game, like, you guys are fine. Like, you literally have been beating each other up for, a month, and you're more than prepared to take care of business in our out of conference slate. So, just again, this year they did a great job in our out of conference games. I think they set the bar high in terms of how we compete. I mean, our goal every year is to win more and to win by larger margins. And I think that this year's team did a great job of setting that example in our first 7 games.
You really led into my next question perfectly. From year one now, just with the year 6 cut a little bit short, how has the team dynamic and the team goals changed from year 1 to year 6? And how have you seen the team evolve over the years to the point where they're just starting out to the amazing growth they've had in such a short period of time, where now they're competing in the Patriot League and making semifinals?
Yeah, I mean, this year's team was special in terms of their dynamic. I mean, they were just a really fun, laid back, like goofy, like authentic crew. I mean, we had so much fun. I mean, I have never had so much fun coaching a team than I did this year. They were just amazing. And I think, I think a big part of that was just our senior class. We had a really awesome, authentic, just kind, goofy, senior class that did a great job leading. And I think, this year's team was really able to balance kind of just having a lot of fun working hard, but then also just pushing themselves to higher levels of working hard. I think they understood more than any other team that the time it takes to work on your craft and be elite, not just good, but just be elite and be great. And I think that this team really put in the effort and all the things behind the scenes to really try and be elite. And I think a big part of that too is just my coaching staff. I mean, Shannon and Carly, who are the assistant coaches this year, they really are similar to this year's team in terms of their dynamic. I mean, Carly and Shannon are some of the most lovable people, but they absolutely get after it when it comes down to the X's and O's and their position groups. I think, I have to give a shout out because I'm so proud of them and what they did in working with the team this year and developing talent. I mean, at the end of the year, 7 games in, Shannon coached the number 1 draw team in the country in terms of draw percentage. And Carly really doing a great job. We changed up so many things about our defense this year and really didn't know how it would pan out when we started competing against top teams. But, at the end of the year, again, 7 games in, Carly was coaching the number 2 scoring defense in the country. So Shannon and Carly bring just an incredible intensity and, passion for what they do. And that combined with, or I think not combined with, but I think they help shape the dynamic of the team. And it was just an incredible dynamic with our staff and team this year.
Well, 6 years as a varsity program now, and you were brought in. You started this program. That they were a club level when you got here. Now they're winning 14 games last year, 7-0 this year. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced from starting this program from kind of the ground up, bringing girls in and having them buy into the program to get it to the point it is in such a short amount of time?
Definitely. I think, I could probably write a book on all the obstacles and challenges you face starting a program and starting a program at a service academy at that. But I do think, one of the hardest challenges for any young program is likely just overcoming those losses early on. We went through 2 5-12 seasons in our first 2 years that were just tough, and we definitely lost more than we would have hoped to. But we learned a lot of lessons. And I think the challenge in losing in those first few seasons becomes trying to breed the confidence that you need, from them. And then also to maintain the faith and the vision. Right. And so I think, myself and my staff and the administration here all along maintain that vision that we would, be a top 20 team and compete at the national level and compete for championships. And so I think just trying to maintain that optimism and that positivity and inject it into the players throughout those early losses is definitely a challenge that we had to face. And luckily we've gotten over that challenge and we've been able to learn through our wins as of late, which is great. I think the other challenge is just finding the right fit for our program here. And I think there's a small percentage of people out there who are equipped and prepared to play a Division I sport. I think there's an even smaller population that are equipped to play Division I sports in an academic institution such as the United States Military Academy. And then I think there's an even smaller population who can balance being an elite level Division I athlete, being an elite student, and serving their country and fulfilling their obligations, their military obligations. And that's the fit that we need here. And so I think year after year, we've been able to get more players into our program that can really balance all of that, all of those time commitments that they have. And while also showing up to the field every day and absolutely emptying their tank and giving it their all. And I think that's where we're at right now. And we're really happy with the players that we have in our program.
Well, it was an unfortunate way for all the spring sports around the country to end their season, but there is that silver lining. You do get to be home a little bit more, and you've changed a lot as this program's come along as well. You've got married, and now you got a little 2-year-old running around the house.
Yeah.
And so how have you been spending your time with your husband, with your daughter, and has Caslin been keeping you busy, and what have you been doing to kind of pass the time in the last couple of weeks?
That's a good question. So I'm actually in her playroom right now. So if I literally just reach down on the ground, it could probably tell you a lot about what my last month has looked like. To begin with snacks, lots of snacks. This is Sammy. This is my daughter's baby doll, and it's named after Sammy Stewart, number 10 on our team. Caslin is making photos to send to the team or making little art projects. She hasn't been very productive this week. She needs to snap back into it. Magnetiles is kind of like the educational. This is the part that makes me feel good, like I'm actually teaching her something. And then, of course, we're reading too. And this is her favorite book, ABCs of Girls Lacrosse. So trying to put on my preschool teacher hat and be a good teacher, be a good mom, love on her. This is like time that I would otherwise never have with her if I were still in season. So just trying to take away that positive. And, with my husband, that's, same thing, just getting to spend rare time together. We're trying to cook a little bit more. That's something that I really haven't done for like 2 or 3 years. So trying to get back in the kitchen and be outside as much as we can. So, although I miss the team and I miss competing and I absolutely cannot wait to go back to work and get after it and see the girls again, definitely trying to enjoy this special time with my family.
Coach, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes, and we look forward to seeing you guys back out in the field when you get back out there in the fall and then when you get your competitive season going next February.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Zach. Really appreciate it.